I'm Justin Andrews. I'm the Senior Director of Innovation and Insight at Shorelight, which is a company that partners with colleges and universities to recruit, support, and retrain international students.
That is great. And where are you calling from today?
I'm actually in Portland, Oregon. Shorelight's a Boston-based company, but I'm on the West Coast.
Okay, very nice. Justin, please tell us what is a data application in your words. How does it differ from a traditional BI or even a data science machine learning tool?
Yeah, it's a good question, and it's a question that we get asked a lot. The main difference, and you bring this up in your talk, an interactive application, a Dash app, and specifically in my case, is not a report. It's a tool of discovery. And the way I see my role in building Dash apps is to create a tool that end users can actually discover the insights that they're in the best position to generate.
So you've been using traditional analytics for a long time.
Yes.
What was a trigger or the specific need that made you want to explore new options like Plotly Dash?
Yeah, when Tableau came out, it was a game changer and unbelievably exciting and offers some of that interactivity. But we eventually ran into some limitations with Tableau, including collaboration in terms of getting that TWB file back and forth among a team, and the ability to call in APIs is extremely challenging, that we found, and the ability to keep all of our code in a single place, right, rather than calculated fields in Tableau that are built into the dashboards. That the ability to actually do ETL work, verify it, and launch visualizations from the same platform was really a game changer for us.
So was it ease of use that was challenging, or was it the user experience, or was it the ability to reuse formulas and KPIs?
Reuse was a major issue. And also the ability to really, Tableau is great out of the box, but if for fine tuning and for really getting directly into exactly what we want, exactly how we want to look and feel, we found it increasingly challenging in Tableau to do that.
Got it. So now that, by the way, let me ask you, how long have you had Plotly Dash within your team? How long have you been working on it?
I've been working in Dash for about a year now.
I see.
And I worked in a lot in Plotly before, but in Dash Enterprise specifically, it's been about a year.
So can you then walk us through which are some business capabilities that you are enabling now with Plotly?
Yeah, we've built a kind of series of mega apps, just huge programs with 75 visualizations and 30 interactive or 30 filters across multiple stages of a student enrollment funnel. That's a major initiative at my company.
So that's very interesting. So this major initiative, what is the business impact? And I'm very curious to hear from you. What can you achieve today that was very difficult to do or you couldn't do earlier on?
Yeah, it's part of it is, maybe the most important part is something that you alluded to in your talk, which is that on-the-fly analysis, which is we've created this tool for senior leadership to use to kind of understand our enrollment funnel clearly, but we can't anticipate all of their needs. Now they say, we would really like to see this view of the data. We can prototype it within an hour and have it deployed in Dash Enterprise same day. And it seamlessly integrates, and it's unbelievably fast how quickly we can get them those insights.
That is very interesting. I was just laughing, thinking we live in the same day delivery era, so why not for reports?
That's right. Yeah, and
yeah.
Once we set up the ecosystem, and once we set up the architecture, adjusting it, adapting it, revising it, adding to it is really overwhelmingly easy, and collaborating on that process too, which is maybe the most important piece. We can divide it into the team.
Yeah, and so who do you collaborate with? Is there a good harmony between the business and the IT teams?
Oh yeah, we we're all working towards the same goal, so we work very well together, and it's a small team. But even in a small team, we haven't found a solution that's as effective as Dash for being able to load it into Git and divide work, store it there, and deploy it quickly and easily. So
that is music to my ears. Why I'm saying this is because I talked about data products, how important are the product management best practices and discipline to apply to data. But what I didn't talk about was how important it is to also apply software development lifecycle best practices, what we call DevOps. We've been doing those for applications for the longest time, but not for data. And so what I'm hearing from you is that you are now able to do that very easily through the use of Plotly. Is that
That's right? Yes, absolutely.
I see. The other thing that you also mentioned, or you were talking about how you recognize the need, but then how did you find about Plotly? I know you came with some experience from when you did your introduction, but are there other products you looked at in this space?
Yeah, we did, but there was no real choice in terms of, because what we were really interested in, we weren't interested necessarily in the easiest solution in a low-code environment. That wasn't what we were setting out to do. We were setting out to, how can we integrate APIs? How can we stay in Python when we're developing? And how can we have a single environment for analysis, for ETL, for coding, and then for visualization, and then for interactive visualization specifically. And we were already huge fans of the Plotly library as an open source library. So we've been using Plotly for a long time before Dash came into our lives. So
got it. So now we've got Plotly App Studio.
Yes.
What are your plans about Plotly App Studio?
App Studio is so interesting. It's such an because when you're coming from building these mega apps, you forget that there's also serious business needs for quick analysis, real on-the-fly analysis. That App Studio, it makes ridiculously easy. And for me, I tend to work in a Jupyter notebook. I love working in a notebook. I don't like leaving a Jupyter notebook. And with App Studio, you can launch the app directly from the Jupyter notebook. It really simplifies the entire callback process. It's extremely easy. You don't have to declare anything. It just loads up your data frames and your visualizations, and then allows for really amazing out-of-the-box design control. So
that is very good to hear. I'm just curious, going back to what you said a few minutes ago, not just mega applications. What's a mega application? How do you define it?
Maybe I define it by amount of time it takes. to build, but it's when you're really looking at a kind of high priority, comprehensive data view of some kind or another, or one that's going to be deployed to multiple partners, for instance, or needs to be with scheduled updates. With App Studio, it's more, here's an analysis that maybe the board needs to look at one specific topic. Here we go. We can launch it in App Studio, one-click deployment, and everyone has access to it. I also use App Studio, though, for a really interesting, I don't know if it's an intended use case of App Studio, but I use it for ETL work and data verification, because my notebooks can get a little bit messy. I'm not sure necessarily where my data frames are, and I find interactivity in a notebook to be a little bit painful. So I'll be working on an ETL project. I'll load it in App Studio, and I'll do my data verification work in App Studio and an undeployed app. And it's amazing. It works unbelievably well for that.
If you were to take that same data transformation job and run it in, say, DBT or some other tool, or a report that you built in Plotly Dash, you run it in Tableau, I want to understand the apples to apples comparison. How much time would it take in Plotly versus, say, DBT or Tableau?
Well, it's a good question. In my experience, Tableau is faster. But what you're able to do with it is less. So if you want to do a quick data visualization, it can work. But if you want to, but I think we all know data visualization is kind of the last piece of a long journey, and because Dash integrates so well with IDEs that I can stay in my same environment, and I'm not sure where my non-Dash work begins and ends. It's all part of the same organic process. So
wow, very nice. So Justin, I can go on forever. I think we've reached end of our time. It's been so amazing talking to you because you've got so much experience hands-on and you're seeing the results. I want to thank you sincerely for educating us on real-life examples of using Plotly Dash.
Thank you, Sanjeev. Always a pleasure.
Thank you.